Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Retro Reminisce, the show where we look at older games, see if they hold up, what nostalgia we have for them, and all that good stuff, and then what we like and what we don't like, you know, because that's pretty important too. My name is Killjoy, and I am joined by two lovely men, as always, on my left, for once, Mr. Mark Kitchen. How's it going, good sir?
Good afternoon, I'm very well.
Fantastic. That's what we like to hear. And on my right, they've actually switched sides, guys. Mr. Fruity Sour, how's it going, good sir?
Guess so. I still say I was on your left as well.
You're both on my right, don't worry.
That's true, though.
I'm just trying to throw the listeners off for once.
I am feeling
Coffee.
coffee. Okay. Slightly for the cold.
That's fine. He's got coffee, he's got water.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Mark have got Dr. Pepper.
Everything. Try not to cough all over the mic.
It's going to be a good day. So, today we are taking a look at a specific platformer from the SNES, looking at its full title, Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. A game that came out, yeah, I know, most people don't call it by its full name, but it is Super Mario World 2.
It's just Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, to be honest, the title, the prefix of the title doesn't really relate. It's nothing really like Mario World, is it? But came out in 1995 for the SNES. Very different gameplay as you to the other and older Mario games, as you control Yoshi in this rather than playing as Mario or Luigi. The game consists of 48 levels. I'm not sure if that includes the secret ones or not, but it's quite a big chunk of levels. They are much longer levels. The game is designed very differently, also very much more puzzle heavy and collectathon-y than.
And it's not timed either.
No, there's no time limit, which is quite nice actually. It means you can take your time, pardon the pun, as you play through it.
For the baby time.
And
oh yeah, there's baby time.
oh god,
baby time.
And this is one of those games that has. I think this game's pretty known for its art style being very crayon heavy and drawn, and very very different art style
it's
to
the whole series, really.
Yeah, the Yoshi games are very artsy, if you like. I've got a feeling it's one of those games that used the Super FX chip. I could be wrong, but it may have used the Super FX chip. This one.
No idea.
Oh, it used the Super FX chip too, actually, to be specific.
Even better.
Yeah, so that's how it's able to do some of the crazy things in it. But yeah, so there's a bit about it. Obviously, it's a platformer. It's in the Mario series, and let's crack on with things. So we'll start with Mr. Mark. What are your earliest memories of playing this game?
This was when I was at uni about 10 or so years ago. So I played the other games first, like Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3, and World.
Yes.
And I played this on the SNES, my mate's SNES at uni. I really, really loved it back then.
Yeah.
Oh no, I still like it now. We'll get onto that. But I just had really good nostalgia for it, for the art style, music, all of the stuff we'll get into about how much the things I like about it. I've got good nostalgia for it, and that's about it really.
Yeah.
There's not too much to say on that. It was just I very much enjoyed it.
Good. Mr. Fruity, I don't know, have you ever played this before? No. I didn't think so. I mean, you've known about it, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I know of the game, especially through like Smash Brothers. But no, I never played this game before. I think I've played one of them though. It was like a handheld version maybe?
There was Yoshi's Island DS.
That's probably what I'm thinking of then.
Yeah, that's pretty similar as game. It had different.
Played something else like this.
Yeah.
Unless it was one of the new ones that you had.
I mean, I've got Woolly World on the Wii U, but I'm not sure that was the one.
It might be when I was watching you play that, maybe.
Yeah.
I definitely played at least one of these at some point, but not for very long.
Sure.
So yeah, pretty brand new to this.
Fair enough. So for me, I remember seeing an advert for it before I played it, and being like, God, that looks so different. But we got given it when I got given the SNES and a bunch of games. And I remember playing it because the cartridge had, I think, because it had a save file system and it's got 3 saves on it, one of them was complete. And I remember like jumping in and like playing some of the later levels and being like, whoa, this is very different. And then playing it from the start and being like, this does not feel like a Mario game at all. Like it is so different.
It's true.
But me and my brother, I think we played it. I didn't get that far into it because I think just at the time I just wasn't very good at it. So it was much later on that I started to get the hang of it. I played it over the years, but yeah, it was a very, very different experience than what I had come used to from the normal Mario games and playing Mario World, which was the first game Yoshi appeared in, to this being like, oh no, wait, I control Yoshi, and now he's no longer a power-up, he is the main character of this game. So yeah, I remember enjoying it, because obviously it's very colourful, and as a kid, like colourful games, I was like, ooh. But I also remember finding it very, I don't know, just very different, very like atmospheric, especially the cave levels compared to like a Mario game, right? So it did have a very different feel. So, but let's move on to things we like about it. We'll start with you, Mr. Mark. What are the things you enjoy about this game?
I think the two of the things that jump out at me immediately are the art style, and the music.
Yeah.
So the art style I really like. It's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like watercolors in some areas, and it's kind of trippy. It's kind of I don't know how to.
Especially with the spore things.
Yeah,
fuzzy.
yeah,
Fuzzy, yeah.
That is an actual trip.
Very trippy.
References.
But yeah, it's just very colourful. It's just got this very sort of, I don't know, chalky. I don't know how to describe.
Crayons. It's like a mixture of
like,
everything, isn't it?
kind of watercolory, crayony, like more crayony, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just very colourful. It's very bright. That adds to the whole kind of fun vibe to it. And yeah, so I like that a lot. There's different kind of vibes to different types of levels. So you've got the cave.
Cave levels are great.
And then the more sort of flowery.
I really like the
levels.
the third world when you get to the sort of the monkey world. It becomes more of like a jungle. You got like the muddy stuff and it's a very jungle vibe to it. I really like that design.
Yeah. So yeah, the art style is great. The music is just like I know it takes a few sittings to get through all this game, all the way through this game, but I still don't get fed up of the music. Like the flower garden music.
Flower garden is incredible.
Cave music. I don't know what the names for the other music are really.
Alphalectic is the
that one. Yeah, that's classic. So yeah, I listen to Flower Garden like when I'm not even playing this game. I would just listen to like especially like a remix of it.
Smash remixes are amazing.
Smash remixes are really good.
Yeah, that's true.
With like
that's how I know most of
brass sections and stuff. It's so joyful. It's one of my favourite pieces of video game music. It's like up there among like my favourite. I really like some of the mechanics, just like the eggs and like just you have like the reticule thing, and you have to kind of aim it, and you sometimes have to bounce them off something to get something that's like a secret or something.
Yeah,
like
you
that.
bounce the eggs off the landscape and things.
And yeah, even though Baby Mario's cry is annoying, I do genuinely think it makes it a bit more, adds another element of challenge to it, I suppose.
Yeah.
It gives you a reason to like get the stars, so that you've got more seconds to like get Mario back, and it helps that you can like lick him to get him back and like
throw eggs
at him and stuff like that. And like just all the things like the Starman thing, we have to get all the stars.
Oh, when you become
like,
Baby Mario.
Keep going.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's cool.
The thing with like the helicopter and
the transformations.
The transformations.
Submarine.
I love the music when you go into it as well. Yeah. And they have to go around in like a helicopter and submarine, and what's the other ones?
There's a car. We didn't see the train once when we played.
No, I don't know how we managed to avoid that. I haven't seen that train before.
Yeah, the train, helicopter, submarine, car, mole. I think
the mole. That's the one.
Which
yeah,
is really hard to control.
So yeah, just I do like the fact. I'm glad they took like a time limit out of it, because it is more the levels are longer, and I feel like especially some of the more mazy levels, you have to really like think about it.
You got to learn them. Yeah.
If you were against the clock with that, it would just be a bit like like a bit stressful. Like at least you can just take your time and think about it and stuff. Especially that one I did with the pipes.
Oh god.
That took a while. And then I accidentally jumped off the edge.
Standard.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a lot of it really. I'm trying to think. I mean, I like quite a lot. Like, there's quite a broad range of levels. Like very cavey, mazy ones. There's like more sort of open platforming ones. There's ones where you have to get a key from somewhere and come back with like a lot of doors and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a broad. I think it's like quite a broad mix compared to some of the older Mario games. I suppose they just try to. Yeah,
you're not just running from left and right mostly. I mean, you are still running in directions to get to the end of the level, but the design of the level in the middle is quite different to like a standard.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you'll mention something, and I'll tune into that.
No worries.
Yeah,
no worries.
that's like the main what I like.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Fruity, what do you like about this game?
I think a lot of it's already been covered.
Yeah.
Like the art style, the music's good. I like the way Yoshi moves. I like the way he attacks and stuff like that.
He's very well animated, isn't he?
Yoshi's character, yeah.
It's definitely useful that you've got the flutter jump thing actually, because it can really. Is it called that?
It's called the flutter jump, yeah.
Yeah, where you can just stay on, like you can kind of cheese it to get back on in difficult bits.
If you time it right, yeah.
I find the platforming easier in this than like a Mario platformer.
Yeah?
Something I quite liked. It's more on keeping what I like.
Yeah.
I like being able to throw the eggs. It's quite nice, especially in this era, to have like a projectile weapon like that.
Yeah.
I like being able to collect them. You have like, different colour ones as well, and that's pretty cool. Be able to eat the enemies as well as like then to get more eggs or to like, fire them out with your mouth and stuff. So you can do like the different attacks, like the flamey attack and
and you get the watermelons and things.
Yeah, the pips and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a lot of variety. So I really like all the controls for Yoshi is really fun. Animation's good. Yeah, I like the vehicles, transformations. A bit weird lore-wise, but
yeah, it's very odd, isn't it?
but it's fine. The variety of enemies as well.
Yeah,
a lot of different enemies.
Oh yeah, I was going to mention
that's a good point actually.
There's a lot of enemies.
Yeah. And some of them you can kill, and some of them you can't really.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of like
tap spiky dudes to go
try and tongue them off the edge or something.
Yeah, there's a bit of learning about how to deal with different enemies. And
there are a lot of enemies in this game. Thinking about it, you've got you've got the typical shy guys, which are kind of your standard enemy, like Goombas in a normal Mario game. And you've got the bandits that will take Mario, but then they require free jumps on and things like that. So yeah,
I forgot about that. You can even kill things by landing on them as well. And like certain enemies you have to land on or eat or
you can ground pound on a lot of enemies. That rather than like having to jump on them multiple times, you can ground pound it. It will kill them. But because you hover in the air, you have to time it a lot harder.
Yeah, but even with the thieves, you still need to hit them twice. I think.
Yeah, even the ground pound rather than 3 times.
Yeah, like I like the extra stress of like the baby Mario bit. Kind of like how it kind of works like the kid thing as well, where it's like not so much that you're gonna die, it's just the fact that you've lost Mario.
Yeah,
gives you a sense of urgency for I
like all the enemies as well. I like the bosses as well. I think the boss design is really fun in this game.
Yeah, the bosses are like. I'll get onto the levels later, the actual boss levels, but the actual boss fights I think I'll
I should
say more about
that
the design of them and like the way they move and like the little cutscenes before each fight and stuff is really fun. Yeah, it gives a really nice, like, fun, quite chilled vibe to this game. Especially with, like when you run around as Baby Mario.
Yeah.
Kind of gives me a bit of like, I know it's because of the music stuff. Get more of like a Donkey Kong Island kind of vibe.
It's definitely with Donkey Kong Country. Yeah, I can see
it might just be because of the music. It's got a very different style to it.
Yeah.
I think what you're saying about the bosses, I've got to mention that I do like them. I think like most of them are pretty unstressful. They're just fun to play.
Yeah.
Like I sometimes play platforming games where the bosses are like they are well designed but can be a bit frustrating.
Yeah.
But I found like in this game they were just kind of just like pure fun.
For the most part, they give you a fairly big room to fight the boss in.
Yeah.
So
you've got the one where you got eaten. That was really annoying to do.
Oh, the frog one, yeah.
Depending on where the things like spawn, it was really hard.
Yeah, that is a bit of a weird one.
The one where you were just egging the heart. That was just like you couldn't really die on that.
Oh,
one.
I hate that boss. That actually stresses me out. That stresses me out because
it didn't take you very long.
No, I know because I knew what I was doing, but it's that idea that you've got so long before you get pushed off the edge. I don't like those kind of bosses.
You were comparing it to
Crocomire
from Super Metroid.
Yeah, they stress me out. I don't like it, but the design of it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's. Oh, I like how it's like a group effort with all the Yoshis as well.
Yeah.
I like at the end of each level you like pass it on to the next like colour Yoshi. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like yellow, red, green, whatever they are.
Yeah, like all the I think the menus and stuff. I guess because it had like a save function and stuff. A lot of the menus and like the UI is more like in keeping with like the game's overall design and stuff.
Yeah, it's like a
good.
map in it when you see the edges of it. It's like
compared
scrolled
to
out.
compared to a lot of games at the time that are quite basic.
Mm.
So yeah, presentation's pretty much all good really. Animation's pretty good. Boss fight's pretty good. I think that's
Yeah.
clip notes.
Yeah. Okie dokie. I mean, I'm going to be covering a lot of the same ground. I was just talking about the boss fights. Going back to that, like I think my favourite boss fight in that game is not the last boss fight, but the one before it that you were doing. Where basically you have to like pinball the eggs around to make a hole for him to jump in the lava.
Yeah, that was
I
really
don't
cool.
know why, but I really like that boss fight.
It kind of reminds me of that
Tap his name is.
that 2D game where you've got like a thing at the bottom of the
Oh, like
ball and
Javanoid
you
or
just-
something. We have to like, I think it's called Javanoid. Or
Yeah.
basically Noid something. You have to like bounce
Kind
off.
of-
Breakout or something.
Break is one.
Yeah, there's loads. They're all the same game.
It kind
yeah,
of
the
reminds
bat
me of
ball
that,
thing,
with
yeah.
like breaking all the things with the eggs. Except that's at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's running around after you. I think the only boss that you guys didn't see, even though you've done it before, was the plant boss, because I showed you the secret way of killing him, where you basically egg the enemy before you fight that boss. But normally there's also a plant boss in this where he like goes back and forth, and he's got like a bump on him, you have to egg him. But yeah, it's like weirdly enough in this game they've actually put a secret way to kill him before doing it. So I just did it that way. But yeah, all the bosses, like even the first one, but Bashful, you just got to knock his trousers off him and he just deflates. But what I like about the bosses, a lot of the time it kind of teaches you how to be good at the egg bouncing mechanic, because you have to do the boob boss where you have to face the wrong way to like bounce the egg off and hit him. And I kind of like the fact that the game is always trying to be like, hey, you need to know how to bounce these eggs because this is going to come in handy for, like throughout the entire game. Like whether that's off a wall or like to fire at a certain angle and things like that. So
There was that room. I don't know whether you just mentioned that or whether it was a mini boss where there was that room where I could only use 6 eggs.
Yes, the slime dude.
I had to make sure that I bounced it accurately enough to go through them enough times so that I didn't run out of eggs.
Yes, so I have to go and get more and things.
Yeah.
It was like the slimy boss. But boss wise, I think that pretty much all the bosses are fun. I don't particularly like the one you have to hit him in the heart, just like I find it stressful. But like,
That's interesting.
yeah, I don't
thought
like.
that was a cool one.
It's weirdly enough, in one of my least favourite games, Donkey Kong Country 3 has a boss similar where it's like a barrel and you have to chuck things in the barrel's mouth to make it move backwards, otherwise it'll push you down a hole. I just don't like those kind of things because you can mess up and it just gets worse and worse and worse. You're like, oh god. But you did Raphael the Raven, which is the one where you're on the planet and it's spinning around and you slam the things into him, and that's pretty cool.
They definitely did Super Mario Galaxy definitely did a nod to that. Like, there's a few bosses like that in that game.
To slam it. The final boss against Baby Bowser, get that right, was pretty cool. You have to launch eggs into the background, that's pretty cool. But yeah, most of the bosses are a lot of fun, not too stressful. Obviously, the graphics are amazing, the different visual themes are really, really cool. Like, when you start the game off, it's very flowery, and in the last world, it's like boneyards and stuff. It gets quite dark. But all that sort of stuff's really good. Music, obviously, except the castle music. I don't like the castle music. Everything else, though, is enjoyable. You were saying about different types of levels as well. Like you've got like there's certain levels that require you to do a lot of running, like the ones with the switches, where it's like there's one on it and you have to like belt it. All right, you're getting chased by the giant chain chomp.
Yeah, I really like that idea with like the switches and also the balloons and things.
Yes.
Where you're sort of going up and it's very platformy.
Yeah.
But then other ones it'll just be like very unplatformy where you're going through tunnels but you have to like find the right doors. And
stuff. There's a good mix in there of like fast levels, slow levels. There's not that many auto scrollers, so there's a good chunk of levels that are really fun. Like my favourite level in the game is 3-1, which is called Welcome to Monkey Island, which is basically just you walking through this jungle with these monkeys attacking you and just like shooting pips at them and they're shooting pips at you, and it's like,
oh yeah,
I love that level.
With the watermelon thing.
It's like one of my favourite things. What else we got down here? We've got transformations here, are pretty fun. Watching people do the submarine is amazing, purely because the submarine missiles just they do their own thing. They're off doing their own thing. It's kind of annoying.
That's true, actually. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's always fun. And you shoot the fish and they get angry at you and stuff. So, no time limit, I think, is in time limit is such an arbitrary thing back in the past in platformers. But
I don't know whether any platformer has ever needed like a time limit. Really.
It's just a way to get you to keep moving. I get it.
I suppose so. Yeah.
It's just it doesn't. It's nice to play one that an older one that doesn't have it, because it's like this game's already. I think the difficulty on this game gets pretty hard after World 3. So especially the snow levels, you don't want a flipping time limit to deal with that. And also, what's really cool about this game is the score that you get on each stage, and then what that does. So each stage there are collectibles. There's I think 20 red coins. I think that's right. 5 flowers and then 30 stars or something, and this all adds up to you getting 100.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and it all adds up to you getting 100. Now, we didn't really 100% any of the levels, but if you can be bothered to go through and do that, it'll unlock a special stage.
I've never done the special stages.
Oh my god, they're difficult. They are so hard. I've only done like 2 or 3 of them. The first one's called Poochie Ain't Stupid, and you have to ride on Poochie for the entire level. But it's really cool. You actually unlock that, and you also unlock that world's bonus game. So you know when you jump through the flowers at the end, and you get a bonus game. So you can actually unlock it and just keep doing it over and over and over. It's really cool because it means like if you get the one with lives, you can just get loads of lives really quickly, or you get the one with the items and do that. And yeah, so there's 6 levels you can unlock. So it's kind of cool that you, in a game of this time, there's actually a reason to go back and 100% the levels to get those extra bonus levels and the bonus games and stuff, and they're actually fun. They're difficult, but they're actually fun, and you've also got the added bonus of the fact that you can now play these bonus games whenever you want to gain lives or whatever. Something I haven't really spoke about, and something we didn't really use, is you can get items in this game.
I don't even think I knew about that when I first played this game. I never, because obviously you do it in like Mario Brothers 3, but I didn't even, like, when we were playing it, you were like, oh, you could use that. I was like, I don't know if I ever knew about that.
Yeah, so you get different items from playing those bonus games, and like they vary. So you can like spawn a watermelon, or you can use a magnifying glass, which I think shows you where all the hidden red coins are in the level. You can use, give plus 10 stars, plus 20 stars. That'll just instantly boost it up. Fire melon, any invisible flying clouds with wings, you can make them appear. Like there's quite a big variety of items you can use. I think a lot of them are there to help you find where all the hidden secrets are. Anyway, so it's quite nice that they let you do it, and they're not that difficult to get. So that was always really cool. I think we used like 1 or 2 of them. Like using the star things useful. I've got to put down like the mechanics, like flutter jump, the items, enemies, and things. We're saying about the enemies. It's true, the enemy variety is really, really fun. Like something we didn't do.
There's a lot of them, and the way they attack you and stuff is very varied.
Yeah, and like not all of them will hurt you. They'll just push you back or something. Like one enemy that we didn't really bump into much. There's a flower that walks around and it will fire out bubbles. And you can eat the bubbles and fire the bubbles back. I don't know if it does anything, but you can do stuff like that.
I find it quite satisfying when you get the boulders. And you
chomp rocks,
push them along, and like when it kills the enemies, they sort of just make pop sounds, like pop, 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 pop.
You get all the taps, and it's like running it down.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's very like unthreatening the way they die. It's just like a pop. Like,
I like how a lot of them are quite cute. Like I like the Shy Guys on stilts. They're just sort of chilling, like walking along. It's just like it's very, very interesting designs. Like you got like the Shy Guys dressed up with like a shield and a spear as well, doing a little tribal dance.
Oh yeah.
And they're pretty fun. And it's like everything looks really happy, don't it? Even the the Koopa Troop and stuff are just like flapping around. I like the Goombas in this as well. When they're about to jump, they do the eyebrow thing, and if you notice this, they go like this with their eyebrows, and then they jump and stuff. So there's like a lot of character to each of the enemies, even if like they're not all, not all of them are memorable. Some are annoying, like the mice, because they just squeak and steal your eggs. Like and you're just like, oh, go away. But I quite like the fake sunflowers that go rah and they fall down and try and crush you and stuff.
They're fake because they've got like the angry face.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really, really cool designs in it, and I think and some of the ghosts as well. Like not the ghost that's like in the cellar and he gets bigger and bigger, and like you have to knock him down so he shrinks. And when he's shrunk, he's just like looks so confused. It's like, oh. And you got the other one, you hit them in the face, and they're just like, oh.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that, but yeah, like a lot of the enemies have their own kind of personalities.
Yes.
A lot of the time, they either look confused or angry or whatever.
Yeah, it's fun because they've all got like very specific design. They're all very memorable for the most part. Like some are less, but they all kind of have like a chirpy little expression most of the time. And the bandits always look like they're very smug. I love like the way their feet move. It's almost like a spin thing, like in cartoons. And their feet like as they're chasing after you and stuff. I think that's pretty much everything I like about it. So, yeah, let's move on to things that we don't like. Then I'll start with you, Mr. Mark. What don't you like about this game?
Even though I feel like the level variety is really good, I did feel like it seemed to go on longer than I remember it when I played it back in the day. Like, it was kind of like...
It's a long game.
Yeah, we got to like... I was still enjoying it, but the last world, I was kind of like, I just want to kind of get to the end of it now so we can do a video on it. But I don't know whether that's like... It's not really bad game design. Like, it didn't seem like they'd overdone anything, really. I guess some of the levels are a bit... like
that bloody maze level we did at the end. You just handed me the controller because you didn't know what you were doing.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, there are a couple of levels where I was just like, like I like the design of, I like the cool, like the maze thing is well made.
Yeah.
But some of them I was just like, ugh.
Yeah, like the only way you can complete that level is if you don't know it, is to get near the end where you find and you see the key, and then you have to fall back down to then get the key, then go around again to like do it. It's a bit of a ball ache.
There's not really much I don't like about this game. I think it's quite a... I mean, maybe you've got a bit more to say.
I've got some things I don't like about it.
But it's difficult. Maybe if you start saying, I'll probably agree with you. But
Alright then, in that case, I'll throw over to Mr. Fruity Samo. What don't you like about this game?
Not a huge amount, to be honest.
Okay.
Like some of it's a bit janky, like jumping and trying to get onto platforms and stuff. Like some of the times they end up just like clipping through, Like you feel like you've gone through the platform, but like you just end up falling through like halfway over it. It's like I don't understand how that happens.
Yeah,
it's a bit weird. Like some of the mazy levels are annoying. Like that one when you have to do like all four of them to like proceed. They've each got like one enemy type, like the lava, or, like the spikes and stuff like that. It's like it's just not fun. It doesn't feel like it's appropriate to the rest of the game. Some of those
it's
like
very slow
puzzle places, but it slows down the like momentum of the game, and it just doesn't really fit with like how jolly and like laid back the rest of the game is. Like some of those puzzles are just annoying. They're not exactly hard.
No, it just take a lot of time.
Yeah, the one with the 4 enemy types is what I remember the most, because it's like you can't save during it.
You've got 2 checkpoints, and you have to get the key from each one, and it's just like if you mess up one, you have to do however many you are from before, and it's just like it takes such a long time.
It just becomes like boring. Like, it's not really like anger-inducing puzzles. It's
just slow.
It's just kind of annoying. Yeah, it kind of disrupts the flow of the game. That's kind of like some I feel like the art style kind of marries up to like some of those like the harder sections. But most of it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
I think that kind of works for the game. It doesn't feel like it should be a game that should be too stressful. I think it's just kind of like some of the bugs in the game, which is kind of you'd expect from a
SNES game.
I did feel like there were some levels where like the kind of design or some of the enemy placement kind of changed the pace of the level quite dramatically.
Yeah.
Like you would be platforming really comfortably, and then suddenly you would run into like something chaotic, and you'd be like, okay, and now I need to completely stop and like think about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's not like playing Sonic where you can just like pretty much
fly
through.
Zone.
Well, yeah, but then you know that whole zone is going to be like that.
Yeah.
Whereas this will be changed like within
the level,
within one level.
I think also like this game can go like when it goes bad, it goes to like awful. Like, you'd be going around with like 20, 30 stars.
Oh god,
really good. And then like you hit one enemy, then you try and get Mario back, you get like hit again. Then you try and go back again, and you get hit again. And you have like less and less time each time.
Yeah.
But like by that point, there's more enemies around you, so you end up getting hit. There's like it really like ramps up really quickly.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like maybe having some like invincibility frames might be actually quite useful. It seems like you can get hit straight away when you pick up Mario again. Sometimes I feel like having some invisibility frames there would be quite a good idea.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Just to give you like a second to catch up.
I definitely agree on that one.
But other than that, it's
pretty solid overall.
Pretty solid, yeah. What about you, Mr. Killjoy?
I definitely got to that. I want to go over a few things. I actually don't like the Baby Mario mechanic at all. And
I think that doesn't really surprise me. Like
no, and it's not because I don't think it works. I just think obviously the whole baby cry gets really annoying and grating very quickly. But
I think it's meant to be annoying,
Yeah,
so that you're
yeah,
like, I don't want to
like-
have to listen to this too long. Like, let's get in right
I
away.
think it works because it's meant to be like really annoying and.
I think the thing is later Yoshi games, they are Yoshi games. You don't carry Mario around with you, so
Yeah.
a lot of the time or Woolly World and Crafted World anyway, you have a health bar in place of that, and I actually prefer that because it just means you get hit, whatever. The problem was, it's like you were saying, certain levels they can go from okay to pretty bad quickly. Like if you fall down a hole and he's all the way up there, unless you've got like an incredible egg shot which will send him down, like you've got that in the way, you've got enemies in the way. The worst thing is when you've got like piranha plants because they eat you and it takes about 3 seconds before you get spit out again, and then you're still in stun
Mario's
animation.
like miles away, and you're like, no.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
certain enemies will put you in a stun lock situation, and it's like Yoshi does that thing where sometimes he'll spin round and then fall on the ground.
Yeah.
And each of these animations takes so long.
That's true when you get like stun locked.
Yeah, and you said about iframes. I mean, you get about maybe a second of iframes when you get hit by an enemy, but that's it. When you get Baby Mario back, sometimes you've got them, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
But it's not a long time, and yeah, if you're caught between like piranha plants or like the other ones that spit things at you, it just as soon as you hit something, you're just like, well, that's about 5-6 seconds lost already.
Yeah, you don't need as long as like in like the first like Sonic game, which I like comparing the two.
Yeah.
You get so many iframes now, you just get hit and just like
Run through
the
it,
spikes
yeah.
for like 6 seconds and you're fine. But I think having like a 2-second window so it'd be quite useful in this game.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think the iframe thing and stun lock thing is what frustrated me the most, because if you're inside in an enclosed room, it's very easy to just get bounced around like a tennis ball at that point.
Yeah.
And it's just like if you play the room a certain way, like sometimes you can get through it fine, but if you make that mistake, then suddenly you're in a bad situation.
You're forced to move because of Mario.
Yeah, and it's just like you're trying hard to get him.
You can't be cautious.
No, and it is annoying. Some of the levels in this game are too long, I think, especially towards the end of the game. After World 3, I think so the difficulty curve in this game, I think World 1, 2 and 3 are actually pretty well paced. 4 I think is the snow world. I can't remember if 4's the snow. No, it isn't. 5's the snow world, I think. Once you get into 4, 5 and 6, the levels become much longer. They start adding in other mechanics, and it becomes it suddenly goes, yeah, the first 3 worlds are for you to get the hang of it, and now we're going to give you the real levels. And it's I think this is harder than a normal Mario game. I think that playing Mario Brothers 3, 1, 2, World, maybe not 2 actually, World and things like that, I find it more comfortable playing those games and dealing with what they can throw at you than like the last few worlds in this, because like even the snow levels, like there's one where you've got snow lifts, and like there's these bloody little penguin things that if you hit into them they just send you flying, and like it's all over a giant pit, and it's like the difficulty suddenly just goes whoosh and just ramps up, where you just have to start making more precision jumps and like expecting it. Now obviously you can eat things and you can lob eggs at stuff, but it's frustrating when the levels are getting longer and the halfway marks are in weird positions, and sometimes you actually have to like fight to get to the halfway mark. It's not always just right in front of you. Like you were doing one of the castles, you have to get a bullet bill to like bounce up to get to the halfway mark and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't just in place. So like if you do die and you haven't bothered to get it, you're sent right back to the beginning.
I made sure I got it because I was like, I didn't know where the actual end of the level was going to be.
Yeah, exactly. So
it was a castle, so yeah.
So there's that. But I think I personally think it's harder than a normal Mario game, and I think partly is because Yoshi doesn't jump the same. Like Yoshi jumps further from like horizontal rather than vertical. Like he has vertical height if you jump on the spot and then hit the flutter jump, but he's better at going from left to right and right to left. Which sometimes throws me off, where I was like trying to jump and thinking, oh wait, hang on, no, this isn't a typical Mario game. I'm not going to make that jump. Like that's why you have like, there's quite a lot of springs in this game and like blocks you can jump on and things like that.
That's true.
It's not like I think the game controls badly. It's something I didn't even mention. The controls I think are very good.
Yeah.
But I do find after playing a lot of Mario games and then playing this, I'm just like, oh. It's kind of like whenever I play like Mega Man and Shovel Knight, I think, oh yeah, you can jump really high, but you don't jump very far.
Yeah.
It's like getting used to that again, and it's not really. I don't really want to knock it against the game, because it's just sometimes it's frustrating when you go, I feel like I should be able to jump up here, and I can't. But you then have the ability to like jump on enemies and jump up and things. So yeah, I think the other thing is castle music. I absolutely hate the castle music in this game. It just, all the music's really jolly, really good, and I know it's trying to set a tone, but it's just really boring.
I
don't mind it.
It's not the most interesting.
I think it's just compared to the rest of the music in the game, it doesn't hold up.
But I think it's just the problem is it's trying to set this like spooky tone, and it's like I'd rather it was just like, I don't know, just a bit more. Because in your face, maybe. Because what I love is when you do like each world has 2 bosses. One's counted as the mini, one's counted as the final boss. The mini boss music's great. It's like it's like really jolly. So you get through like this crappy sort of music in the castle to this very jolly boss fight music. And then when you fight the second boss of each world, it's more like it's like this rock music. And then, even though it sounds a bit out of place, it still has more like oomph to it than the actual castle music. And I just feel like the castle music is very lethargic. It's like it's like I just find it boring. Married with the fact that most of the castle levels are.
It sounds like it should be in like a ghost house level. From,
like
Mario World.
Yeah, it's not. It just doesn't do it for me. Like you say, compared to the rest of the music.
If they used it more sparingly. You only had it on like a couple of them, like 3 levels, it would be so bad.
Yeah, but
when there's every single castle.
Yeah, it's just the problem. I think if they had different music for both ones, because the mini boss music in Yoshi's Woolly World is amazing. Remember that, like the slap bass music?
Yes.
It's like
that was cool.
It's like, oh my god, this is so good. So they kind of nailed it later on in the games, but yeah, those are my main issues with it. I think like a lot of those things did actually reduce the amount of fun I was having with it, but I think probably 1 to 4 or 1 to 3, I think the game's really good. I think the pacing becomes a bit in the later levels, and it becomes a lot more about precision platforming, and it really does ramp up quite drastically in my opinion. So, but yeah, that's my dislikes. So let's finish things off then with, do we think this game holds up? I'm going to throw it to Mr. Fruity this time first. We'll start with you. Do you think this game still holds up?
Maybe, since I didn't really play it before.
That's true.
So,
as someone who's playing it now,
how do you think it like?
Do I like it? I guess rather than does it hold up?
Yeah. Compared to other platformers of maybe it's age, like Sonic, Mario, Mega Man.
Obviously, whatever. Like I'm not treating it like a new game.
No.
Like yeah, I'd say it's interesting enough to like play. Like it has mechanics in which I haven't seen in any other platformers.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth playing just to like experience it. And it's got a very different feel as well, because obviously I was a Mega Drive kid. So that's what Nintendo don't. So I never really played it.
And go bust.
Yeah. It's true.
That's not
Still keep playing the Virtual Fighter. But yeah, so it's quite interesting to play this because obviously I didn't play this at the time. Well, a lot of these, like Nintendo games. So yeah, for me it's just interesting to play. But will I go back to this? Probably not. I don't think I have enough attachment to this, and rather than playing another old game, or like a new game. But I say definitely experience it if you missed out on it like I did.
Interesting question, because obviously you like Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2, which are very, very colourful games anyway. Does the fact that this is like also a very colourful game, does that influence the fact that you're like, oh, I've got enjoyment from playing something that was that bright and colourful?
I mean, yeah. It suits, my colour taste, definitely. It's like I like the design. I think I just kind of like it. It's got like a really strong art style.
Yeah.
It's always a good thing. Music's good as well.
I think that helps. I just wondered because, like, I know that, like, when you boot up Sonic 1 and 2 and you're on Green Hill and Emerald Hill, like, they're very memorable because of the way they look. And, like, as someone else who enjoys Sonic as well, I like that. Even though there's a lot in those stages, a lot of the time I speed through them, but I kind of like the fact. And I was thinking, does that correlate to other platformers? I know this isn't as fast as that, but especially in the first world, it's a very brightly coloured.
Yeah, it's because a lot of platforms I remember are really bright. Like, like your Pandemonium on like PlayStation.
Oh yeah,
and stuff
true.
Like that. Like a lot of the platforms I remember are like the really, really bright ones.
Yeah.
Except for like Shinobi, I guess.
Oh my god, the waterfall!
It's bright.
Oh yeah.
I can't see what's going on.
Just. Why did they make the water turquoise and you also turquoise? It was a terrible idea to make both the same colour.
So good. But yeah, I just wondered because
it's a good question.
But yeah, that's interesting though. I mean, I can't imagine. Well, I mean, I suppose the most interesting mechanic I think, in this game is the egg throwing thing. Like the fact you can, game constantly encourages you to bounce things around. I think that kind of
aiming and like freezing the reticule.
Yeah,
and all that,
like
yeah.
that's I think the biggest difference between this and a lot of other games, because you're not just running and jumping.
Also, the fact that it gives you like 3 different ways of attacking is also pretty unusual.
That's true.
And yeah, I really like how it feels like more of a world than like a lot of platforming games at this time.
Yeah.
Like it feels like it's been fleshed out. Like the way the enemies like move around.
Some of the background
the way
as
the
well.
levels, yeah. The levels are built, like designed. It feels more.
It's like telling a
cohesive.
story through the game, right? Yeah.
But you know when you go to like the monkeys, you see all the monkeys in the trees, and it
Yeah.
feels like this world exists outside of Yoshi. Like it feels more like you're traveling through like a world rather than like
It's just
a lot of the,
kind of meant
like,
to be
Mega
set on
Drive-y
like
games.
an island, isn't it? Like when you go
Yeah.
between the worlds and it's almost 3D. Like
Yeah.
oh my god, there's like a 3D map.
I think
Yeah.
maybe that's why it reminds me of Donkey Kong Country.
yeah. When you're going across the map,
It kind of feels like that. Like it kind of feels like an actual place. But you don't really get that in a lot of Mario games.
no,
A lot of Mario games and worlds like that, it doesn't feel like an actual place.
no, it looks very weird.
It doesn't feel like this is like a world that like exists.
Yeah,
I think that's why everyone loved Super Mario World, because it was like, ooh,
it's an
like,
actual map that was
I'm
tied
going
together.
to like a forest now, and then
Yeah.
to like a
Hmm.
mountain and stuff.
Yeah, it's just every more. Probably why I prefer the world games actually of Mario, rather
Yeah.
than like Super Smash Brothers.
Whoops. Mario Bros. 1, 3, 2, lost levels. Yeah, that's
That's
interesting.
how I get all my information from Smash.
Yeah, and everything through the trophy descriptions.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, enjoy the experience. Maybe it'll be for you, but I probably would never come back to this.
No. That's fair enough. Mr. Mark, how do you feel about this game?
I'd like when I played this like first time round, I loved it. That's
Yeah.
not saying I don't like it now. I think it's a good game, but I used to think, oh wow, this is like an essential classic platforming game.
Yeah.
Like everyone should play this. It's so much fun. It's so joyful. I still think it is very joyful, and I did enjoy playing it again, but I didn't have that same experience
Yeah.
as when I first played it, which is pretty much what you could say about any game you played when you were younger. But
No, I know what you mean.
That's true.
but yes, it's difficult because I haven't really played a huge amount of any other Yoshi game. So I played a bit of Yoshi's Story, but
Played
that
Woolly
game
World
is
as well,
like
yeah.
Yoshi's Story is just shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's not awful. It's just not great.
It's
I
terrible.
played a bit of Woolly World, but only like a few levels, so I didn't play enough of it
Okay.
to like.
We should play through that.
I mean, it looks great,
Yeah.
but I've just not played it.
Right.
And Crafted World has just come out, and we haven't played that yet. So I
Can't
can't compare it to other Yoshi games. If it had to be black or white, yes or no, does it hold up? I would go with yes, because I would still enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's slightly. There are things that I don't. I think probably aren't as amazing as they were like 20 odd years ago.
Yeah.
But I had fun playing this again. I did feel like what we said about like it did start to drag a little bit at the end.
Oh, absolutely.
Like when we were getting through the last world or two, maybe, especially the last world, it was kind of like okay, we just
didn't I? So maybe I have.
The last like
Maybe
world.
my bias of this game is
The last like world and a half or so, it was kind of like, oh, we kind of just want to get to the end now so we can do a video
sounds like
about
I
it.
made the right choice for not being there when you guys were playing.
Uh,
I've avoided this.
I feel like we both felt like it was just getting it done. Like,
yeah, we got to the point where we weren't even bothering collecting stuff. It was just like running through the
not at all.
levels.
So yeah, I would if you like retro platformers, definitely give it a go. You might enjoy a lot of the mechanics, the music, the graphics. You probably would, if you were into more modern stuff and you're not very much of a retro gamer, then probably play like Woolly World or Crafted World. You'll probably have more fun with them. They're probably more accessible maybe. But yeah, if I had to say yes or no, I would just about say I would say yes.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Alright, Kitty, Joy,
Personally,
Manny.
yeah. So it's definitely. I don't really think it holds up. I think this game has the same problem as Sonic the Hedgehog 2, where you get to a certain point in that game and you just start to get bored.
Shut your mouth.
Like Sonic the
I
Hedgehog
don't
2,
need to complete this game now.
like Sonic the Hedgehog 2, you get to Metropolis Zone, like everything out the last few levels after Metropolis Zone, like you just don't bother. Like you don't need to play.
Yeah.
Don't bother with the rest of that.
Yeah,
all that whole crap. Like, and it's the same with this. Like the game starts off really well. World 1, World 2, World 3, like really good ideas, a nice mix of levels. They're a nice length, and the boss levels aren't too bad. Everything kind of like works really well. World 4 is when it starts to fall apart a little bit.
And then when you start dying more and the levels get longer, it's like, it's a bit more.
It becomes like effort.
A bit more of a trudging through it.
Yeah, and that's I think the biggest problem with this game is that you will have fun with it, and like it's worth persevering just to see the final boss. The final boss is really good, but it's just one of those things where like just some of the levels are just a bit too long, and some of them are a bit too puzzly. I mean, there are some still good ones, but it depends on your tolerance of bullshit as well later on, because there's a lot of learning you have to do in the later game, but they'll be like, now we're going to introduce this particular thing. And even with the snow world, I mean, nobody likes ice mechanics at the best of times. There are some good levels in that particular world, but there are also like one where there's one point where you're on skis and you have to like ski down a mountain. The problem is if you don't time your jumps and you hit a rock, you just fall straight down a hole. And it's just like, at this point you've done an entire level's worth of level, then you then have to do this skiing part before you complete it. So if you die and lose all your lives there, it's like, oh god, that's effort. Like it's not, that part of it's kind of annoying, but overall I do think the game holds up. I think the mechanics in this game are really cool, because it's not often that you have a game where the character has fairly long range attacks from the start. Like, you know, Castlevania may be the only other game I can think of.
That's true.
Because you've got the tongue, you've got the eggs, you've got like the ability to obviously jump on things, but the tongue.
It's more of like a long rather than like a mid range. You think like Castlevania, like.
Yeah, Castlevania. I see Castlevania the whip being long range, but I suppose in that game because of the sprite, it's not that long range, is it? But yeah, it's. I think that makes.
That's just when you said at the start. So I was like, nah, the basic whip is.
Oh, the basic whip is crap. No, I was thinking of like the actual full whip.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like.
I'd say it's still be like mid.
Yeah, it's not the longest range thing, but yeah, no, I think it's the fact this game basically gives you all the tools from the start, and like there's a lot to do here. There's a lot to love here. Like I said, the music, the visuals, everything. There's a lot of good things here. Just be prepared to put up with a little bit of bullshit and maybe some crap enemy placement later on. But I think this is one of the things that early platformers kind of had a problem with. A lot of them, the end game was never the best part of them. Like, I don't think of Super Mario Brothers and think, oh, you know, World 8-3 is a really good level, you know.
A lot of it's like a problem at the time as well, because like like, you know, you have like a health bar, you don't really have like a lot of abilities to like evade or dodge. When you get to like the actual big boss fights, it's just they can kill you so easily. Like, these games, especially like the old, like Metal Sonic, like some of the later Bowser fights, like the fights in this game. It's like, it's kind of like they don't really know how to
balance it,
make a boss fight intimidating without just like having it one-shot you. Like, especially when it's like, oh, we'll just make you hit like 7 times. It's just like, oh no.
Yeah, it's like, not again.
And so I think it's another problem. It's like you don't really know how to like balance out things.
Yeah, it's like when you're doing the frog boss, because the frog boss, like, if you bounce the eggs, and you wouldn't know this the first time you do it. If you bounce the eggs, you can hit the top of his tonsil thing, and it'll hit him like with double damage. But you've got no way of knowing that without like trial and error. And like normally, like you were saying, like it gets hard because every time you try to run up left or right, you get pushed to the middle. You're avoiding fat shy guys and water drops.
So it's like it kind of like the level as well. Also like moves slightly with you.
Yeah.
So like you go slightly like further down where you stand.
Yeah.
So you can't stand just high up by like running across.
Yeah.
Because you end up like going into like a right angle and you stop.
Yeah.
So you think you can run further to the sides without jumping before you realise, oh no, wait, I can't.
No, yeah.
It's like, oh crap.
So there's definitely mechanical things in this game that they're interesting. I'm glad they tried them, but they are kind of a bit fiddly. But I mean, overall, I would say
dated. I think is the best way
yeah,
of describing it.
I agree with that.
So do you think if you had to go yes or
Oh
no.
yeah, absolutely it holds up.
Yeah.
Like, it absolutely holds up. It's like with a lot of old platformers, you have to put up with their difficulty curve at the end of the game. Like it does ramp up.
I think like this was probably like very impressive when it came out. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
like the amount it added, like on like more developed than a lot of other platformers, and that's why even playing it now, obviously it's not going to be as stunning as it was in like the 90s, but I think it's still a fun game for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, if someone said to me, "Do you want to play this or do you want to play Mario 64?" I'm clearly going to pick this.
Yeah.
Like it's fuck 64, but like yeah,
just get that, just slide that into every episode that we do on platforms.
But like I think it's one of those things. It's interesting. It's fun. There's a lot to like about this game, and even though we're sat here saying, you know, oh, there's this fiddly bits and all this stuff, someone else might enjoy that challenge. And I think this is harder than a normal Mario game, but that might just be because I've played the others to death. So, we all done? We think we're all done there?
Yeah, I think that's
so.
all my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like I need to play more Yoshi and Smash than play them today.
That's true. You didn't. You need to play more Yoshi, man.
I do. I love him in the new game. He's terrible in all the other Smash games. The new one.
He's like the
he's
shit.
finally good.
He's the ultimate. He's the ultimate version of Yoshi.
Oh damn!
Oh.
Multicolored Yoshi.
But yeah, thank you very much for listening, guys. As always, if you like this video, hit like. If you want to see more of it, hit subscribe, and obviously comment in the bottom there if you want to talk about this game and tell us that we're wrong or if we're right. You know, however you
recommend
feel.
us a game to play because I don't know what to choose next.
We've got loads of ideas.
We've got loads of ideas. Yeah, we've got some fun.
Blank.
We got some fun stuff coming up for you. So look forward to all that. Actually, we need to. I'll save it for another time. But thank you. Tease, yeah. But thank you very much for listening. Always the tip. And it's going to be goodbye from me, and it's going to be goodbye from these two.
Goodbye.
Sayonara.